Hello?
Hello, is this Dan?
Yes?
Hello, this is Dustin Wilmus from KMSU Radio in Minnesota.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you today?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Is this a good time to ask you some questions?
Yeah! I'll just, if you excuse me, I'll just go through to the other room and we can talk.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, Dustin.
Well, first of all, I'll introduce you to my co-host, Ton.
Hey there, how you doing?
Sorry, your co-host who?
Ton like 2,000 pounds.
Oh. So his diet's not working then?
It's pretty heavy duty, I guess. It's a tough one to carry around.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're ready to go, we'll go ahead and get started here.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess if you can first talk to us about how you kind of got started playing music or in the music business.
Well, I mean, like everybody else, started off as a music fan, I guess, and in the long and distant past, and got into American music like Chuck Berry and Little Richard and Elvis, I suppose. And then when I was growing up, becoming a teenager and stuff, my friends at school and that were into music and whatever, so you end up with a sort of circle of friends that are wannabe musos, I suppose, and that's kind of how it started. And then Pete and I went to school together when we were 5, and we're always interested in music, so we started a band, and we did cover versions for years in pubs and bars and youth clubs and whatever. Then started to write our own stuff and do different things, and then eventually in 1968 we formed Nazareth, and the rest is a long, interesting tale.
Yeah, for sure. So then do you consider it like you sort of started forming Nazareth even way back in school, or?
No, I don't really think we did. I mean, when we were playing in bands in those days, it was just because we were crap at sport. So it was a good way to meet girls. Because, if you wanted the quarterback, I guess, so being in a band was kind of cool. And there's a bit of that in it. And as this, we were just music fans, basically. And we didn't really take it seriously, I guess, till kind of, the mid-60s. You're thinking, hey, this, because we were playing in places, supporting bands that were famous, and we thought, well, they're okay, but they're not that great, you know what I mean? We thought, maybe we could do that, and from Little Acorns, So really, it wasn't like a plan, it was just a case of wanting to be a good band and make people happy, I guess, And we were the same, actually. Once we started a recording career, it was, once we got one hit, people were saying, do one the same, and we were going, no, I don't think so. And so, in a way, that kind of held us back, but in a way, it kind of made us, I don't know, kind of famous to other people as opposed to mainstream,
Well, then you guys obviously hit it real big with the Hair of the Dog album eventually.
Yeah, sure.
But
in
you
the
guys,
States we did, yeah.
Yeah, you were churning out albums long before that. Can you kind of tell us what those early years were like when you guys were trying to make it?
It was really good. I mean, it was like a case of you went from playing clubs to playing sort of ballrooms, and you got on the TV, which impressed the shit out of your relatives. And it was just a case of we always recorded what we liked to play, and if people liked it, great. And sometimes they didn't, but a lot of the times they did. So it was kind of cool. We never really had a plan. It was just, hey, this is good, let's play this. So we did, you made a record, you toured, And in those days, the contracts with record companies were, you made an album a year. So you had to make a record, go on tour, come back, make a record, go on tour.
Sure.
So it was a kind of endless, it was like one of these little rodents around on a wheel. It was very enjoyable, I have to say.
And you mentioned, the Hair of the Dog album becoming popular in the States. You guys obviously based in Scotland over in the UK.
Yeah.
How important is it for a band to make it big in the States? Is that something you guys think about, or are you more worried about?
It's always, if you're in the business, it's, managements and press and all that, it's the big cherry. You want the big cherry, and that's the United States. Well, there's 200 million of you that buy records, So, from a business point of view, it's really cool. But also from my own point of view, I want to do it because that's where rock and roll came from. Rock and roll is an American art, my boy. And it was nice to make it in the place where the art came from,
Sure. Well, and obviously, here in the States, the Hair of the Dog album really is where we kind of were introduced to you and then worked our way backwards. Can you kind of tell us about making that album, what it was like? Were you guys really surprised when it kind of blew up like it did?
Well, not really, because the two previous albums, like Razor and Azit and Loud and Proud, were really big in Europe and had made some kind of airways in the States. They had opened a few doors and stuff. But when I make Hair of the Dog, we had a lot of great material. It was a little bit heavier, and we thought, well, this is kind of cool. We'll go with this. And it was the first album the band did as a band. It was like we didn't have a producer. Manny, our guitar player at the time, produced it. Well, kind of all did. And we kind of knew exactly what we wanted for the album, which was great, And fortunately, we had a hit single on it. I mean, we had a song called Love Hearts on it, so it got played. Because at that time you had FM and AM radio, and AM played. It'd be the only track on the Dog AM radio would have played would be Love Hearts.
Sure.
So, and it was also like, in all honesty, it was the first rock ballad back in the day. I mean, I know there's been a million since, but it was kind of the first one, really. So I guess we were lucky there.
Yeah, and you mentioned you guys making that album on your own without producers or anything, so that must have been an extra, thrill for it to be as successful as it was.
And it was the usual thing in those days. I mean, the budgets were very small. You had to know what you were doing before you went in the studio. You had to have all the arrangements down, and you could mess with it a little bit, but generally speaking, you kind of knew what you were doing when you went in the studio. And we kind of worked better that way. We worked better if you were under pressure and you wanted to produce something that felt live and exciting,
Well, and obviously,
and that's what we did.
Yeah, and it paid off for sure. You guys have been, pushing 50 years now, I think, as a band for Nazareth.
Yeah.
Can you explain kind of the longevity, or what is it that makes you guys, able to last this long?
I think the bottom line, honestly, Justin, it's honesty and playing what you like. It's easy to get something over to the people. If you enjoy playing it, it sounds like you enjoy playing it, And nowadays, where it's all kind of, everything's, computerized and everything's in sections and boxes, it's nice to just have something that's just got feel and soul in it. It's very important to me and to the band. So I think that's a lot to do with it. Just, do what you like to do, but mean it. That's the only thing. That's the only way I can explain it. I really can't explain it any other way.
Sure. Well, and kind of along those same lines, your vocal technique, like your voice, is very unique. Mm-hmm. Is that something that's difficult to stay strong and maintain over that period of time? No,
really. No, I was very lucky. I didn't really. I had a natural voice, and it was like, unless I got something like the flu or the cold or something, I could struggle a little bit. But generally speaking, I was okay. Thank goodness, and touch wood and all that good stuff.
And another, here in the States, we're kind of the age group where Guns N' Roses was big for us, and
sure.
That's another guy who has an interesting voice, and they credit you as big influences. And they actually...
Yeah, well, we knew the boys. I mean, when we played in California, they used to come to all the shows and that.
Okay.
They're lovely guys. They were brilliant kids. I mean, really were. And they still are. They're all talented boys. I'm just sad they split up, but I guess they all had their reasons. But yeah, they were. It was great that music kind of goes in circles. I mean, like in the 80s, it was really bad for rock and roll. It was like boo, But we could always play. We could always sell tickets, so that was fine. We could always work. But then the 90s came round, and bands like Guns N' Roses and that came along and brought it all back again. People were, I remember that, And because they sort of said they liked us and they liked Queen and Led Zeppelin and all that, it kind of, kids that were into them were going, well, who are Nazareth? Who are, these bands,
Right.
So it kind of brought a resurgence of rock and roll again, which is always good.
And we know that Nazareth has another album coming out. Is it the 22nd or 23rd album? I mean, you guys have...
23rd album.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Telephone. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a great album. I love it. It will be my last one with the band because I have lung disease, COPD, and so I can't tour anymore. So they have a new singer, which is great, a guy called Linton Osborne, who's very good. But the new album, I love it. I mean, it's just, if I'm going to have to quit touring, it's a nice one to quit touring on. Lots of great tracks on it. You'll love it, honestly.
Yeah, looking forward to it for sure. And it sounds like you're comfortable with the band kind of moving on with somebody else.
To me, it was like I was saying to you earlier, Dustin, it's always been about the music.
Sure.
So, I mean, if I can't do it, then someone else can, you know. I mean, the music's important. It's not just the people in the band. It's what you do and how you make people feel, and it's the music that does that.
Well, then, what's next for you after the album comes out? Are you just going to kind of lay low, or do you have anything else?
I'm kind of laying low, but I've got a couple of things on the horizon. I've got a kind of rock opera thing that I'm doing a song, and then I'm doing some shows next year in Germany, a rock meets classic thing with people like Ian Gillan and myself and blah, blah, blah. A lot of other rock singers. And I hope to record a solo album, if I can get a record company interested, of course. And, just carry on as much as I can, really.
Awesome. Well, again, it's been an honor to have you on the show. Is there anything you want to...
It's been my pleasure, honestly.
You want to leave the listeners with anything or a message for anybody?
Just, keep listening to your show, of course. And, hey, good to each other, but enjoy life as well.
Beautiful.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dustin, Mick.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
No problem. Take care, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.